Well, good afternoon and welcome to the University of Oklahoma's Lloyd Noble Center. I am Dr. Shanti Simon, the Director of Bands, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this afternoon's concert. Thank you for joining us today for our only performance in front of a live audience this semester. It is so wonderful for our students to be able to perform for you, their friends and family today. Today's program is entitled The Pursuit of Joy, a musical journey through the many emotions and experiences of the past year. Living in the midst of a global pandemic has tested all of us in many different ways. Staying healthy and safe has been at the forefront of everyone's mind as we all navigated the uncharted territory of the pandemic. Our day-to-day routines have been drastically altered, and many activities and occasions that have typically populated our calendars and to-do lists have been delayed, altered, or canceled altogether. Against this backdrop, we have endeavored to provide our students with something to help them remain hopeful and connected to one another as together we face the daily challenges of our current reality.
Thanks for coming in and chatting today. It's good to see you. Tell everybody, major, where you're from, and what instrument you play in the band.
So my name is Claire Harris. I'm majoring in health and exercise science, and I'm from Owasso, Oklahoma.
I'm an alto sax player. I'm from Woodward, Oklahoma. That's like in the armpit of the state, if you will, like right before the panhandle. And I'm a second year sophomore, and I'm majoring in microbiology.
My major is computer science. I'm from Klein, Texas, which is 45 minutes north of Houston, Texas. I play French horn in concert band and mellophone in marching band.
I'm Emily Privrat. I play clarinet in the Pride. I'm from Edmond, Oklahoma, like northwest OKC area. My major is public relations. I just changed last semester from industrial and systems engineering, so it's kind of a big jump, but I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then I went to Jenks High School right outside of Tulsa. I play the flute, and I'm a microbiology major, senior, graduated in May.
Yeah, my name is Michael Ramdale. I'm an aviation major. I'm from Choctaw, Oklahoma, and I play the euphonium.
Can you tell me a little bit about what has changed this semester as far as what we're doing in campus band with COVID?
Of course, this year has been completely different than previous years. So one of the major things, instead of having two separate bands of Boomer and Sooner, we just have one big band. And then instead of having two concerts, we only have one concert. But even though we only have one concert, I still like how we have a lot of music and a good range of pieces, so we can still be entertained and engaged throughout the semester.
Well, I've certainly never done like visual aspects in concert band before, and it's just a little weird because normally band is a place where you go and you hang out with a lot of your friends, so you can't get as close to people, but it's still a really good time to like see people and hang out with people that I don't see around in my day-to-day life usually. But with masks and everything, it's a little weird, but we've been able to keep it pretty normal, I would say.
Our first selection today is entitled Super Empowers. Composed by Brian Balmages, this piece was written to honor United Sound, an organization that works to support musicians and educators, using music as a vehicle for transformative change for special needs students. Super Empowers recognizes that special needs students do not have to be identified by their deficits. Rather, they can be identified by their superpowers. It may be a student with Down syndrome who is always able to make everyone smile, or a nonverbal student who teaches someone to listen in a different way. In a similar manner, the challenges of the past year have revealed to us our own unique superpowers that have enabled us to survive and thrive amidst a global pandemic. Please join me in welcoming our Assistant Director of Athletic Bands, Dr. Brian Wolfe, and the OU Combined Campus Bands as they perform Brian Balmages' Super Empowers.
What's been one of your favorite experiences while you've been in the OU bands?
My favorite experience is probably in the marching band, playing for like 86,000 people and being able to just go across the U.S. and play in NFL stadiums. To me, that's probably my favorite part, is just being part of the action, being part of the moment, and being able to tell stories.
One of my favorite experiences is, I think about 2 years ago, there were so many people that tried out for a concert band and got in, is that we could barely fit in the band room because everyone wanted to be there. And then one of my favorite concerts was the one where, like, for one piece, we turned off all the lights and got all mysterious. And then another one, we had dancers dancing with us, like, on the stage, which was really cool.
I mean, my favorite thing about being in band is that I can still play music. Being a science major, that's not something that a lot of people get to do. And I never wanted to give up being a music or someone who performs music because of my major. So I'm really glad that I still get to do that. And again, it's really just a place for me to go and see people that aren't in my major that I see like during Pride and stuff like that. So it gives me a break from studying, gives me a time to like see people and socialize, and also still get to make music.
For Campus Band this semester, we picked music that had more of a theme of hope and looking forward after the pandemic is over. Of the music we're playing, what's your favorite piece, and tell me a little bit about it?
My favorite piece, I have to say, is Tico Tico.
Tico Tico.
Tico Tico.
Tico Tico.
Tico Tico, and it's just a really energetic piece, which I think is good for being hopeful and all of that, for being in pandemic times. And it's just really, really fun to play. It's really fast, it's really lively, and I just think all of us need a little bit more life in us right now, especially with this time of the semester and just getting towards the end of a pandemic.
Number one, my favorite music is probably Super Empowers. It gives you kind of a movie soundtrack type, and it features the French horn, which is what I play, and it makes you feel empowered and kind of brings like a deep emotion into you.
Our next piece, Tico Tico, is a Brazilian choro song written by Zequinha de Abreu in 1917, later made popular in America by the Andrews Sisters in 1944, and by Fred Waring and the Pennsylvanians in 1956. This energetic piece represents the energy and excitement we all experienced prior to the onset of the global pandemic, and will feature our special guest artists, the OU Steel Band. The campus bands would like to thank the Steel Band students and their director, Mr. Jordan Shippey, for collaborating with us today. And now, please join me in welcoming to the stage our Director of Athletic Bands, Mr. Brian Britt, and the OU Steel Band for Tico Tico. about another round of applause for Mr. Jordan Shippey and the OU Steel Band?
What are some things you're looking forward to with the campus band after COVID is over?
Definitely hearing that we're having full-size classes next year gives me hope for like a normal band season, and hopefully, of course, masking may be a thing for a little while longer, but I definitely think we can get back to normal next year, so I'm so excited for everything band to be normal.
Probably pregame. I've been deprived of that like for a year already. It's been like I haven't performed it since my freshman year, and I'm going to be walking in as a junior as like potentially one of the leaders who are going to be teaching those maneuvers. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone's sparks when we first rehearse and perform pregame, because I really think that's where a lot of the Pride's energy is like shown off in both rehearsal and performance. It's a super fun experience, and I'm really excited to get to see it again.
I really wish that in the future we can do in-person concerts again, which is something that most people who have been in an ensemble usually get to do. This year with COVID, we haven't been able to, and I know that our band is still doing a live performance in a stadium, but other bands I know have been like recording stuff, and it's still cool that they're getting to perform and stuff, but it's not the same as performing in front of a live audience.
Our next selection represents dealing with loss and recognizing the gifts that those closest to us provide us every day. Where the Waters Meet is based on the British Isles folk tune Wylie, Wylie, the same tune used in The Water is Wide. Composed by Carol Chambers in memory of the late Lee South, a former band director in Irving, Texas, this piece depicts the flow of a river, the wisdom and love of a teacher, into a lake, his beloved students, and was intended to capture the impact that Mr. South made for a generation of young musicians. Throughout this past year, our journey through uncertain times was made easier by students and faculty constantly pouring into each other and providing encouragement and empathy as we all faced countless challenges together. We are all stronger as a result of these shared experiences. Featuring Ethan Lusky on trombone, here now is Carol Chambers' beautiful Where the Waters Meet.
Now, you're not a music major, but you decided to stay in the bands and be in multiple ensembles. And tell me a little bit about why you decided to do that.
When I was in high school and I was in band, I think music was probably the biggest reason why I look forward to even coming to school. And like, it would be a really good fuel for me to drive through my academics and excel in my classes.
To me, music is really a hobby. When I'm not in school, when I'm not focusing on class, I'm playing my French horn. And so it's just been a hobby that I've invested in, that I spend a lot of time in, and I really enjoy it. So, and it relieves a lot of stress from classes. It puts my focus on something else, on something productive, and I just really enjoy making music.
I think I just really learned like how important music is in my life. I've been playing music since 2nd grade. I played the piano and then I joined band in middle school. And I just think that I wouldn't have been the same person without doing music this long. And I'm really glad that I didn't give it up. I want to carry out these talents and continue playing the flute probably for the rest of my life. And it's just like, just a really important part of my life, being able to still make music when I'm not marching and stuff like that, so.
Our next piece, Waving Through a Window, is from the musical Dear Evan Hansen and speaks to the experience of feeling like one is on the outside looking in and wondering if others truly see us. To be sure, the past year has provided many opportunities for us to feel isolated and wondering if we will ever really be able to reconnect with those who matter most. Today's event offers a resounding yes to that question, and we are thrilled to be sharing this concert and this piece with you today. We welcome back to the podium Dr. Wolfe as the campus bands perform, Waving Through a Window.
What would you tell another incoming freshman that is a little bit worried about, being in the band, or, we're hoping things are going to return to normal, but what can you do to ease their fears about joining this program?
I would say do it because some people might think concert band's super serious or dull, but with concert band, it's very fun. Like, it's super chill and relaxed, and then we get to play fun songs and think outside the box with normal concerts. And then you also still have that camaraderie with your band friends that you might be missing from the fall, and you still get to stay in shape if you're trying to try out for Pride next year.
I think the biggest fear of joining band as a non-major is like it being really, really intense and really competitive, I guess. But it's actually a really, really fun place to be in because you just get to play your music for fun. It's not like you don't have to compete to be in it in the campus bands, and you still get to be in a friendly environment where everyone's encouraging each other to be better rather than like feeling like they're going to weed you out if you're not doing good enough. But I've always felt very encouraged in the environment, and I think it's a really, really great place to be.
I'd say it's definitely scary at first, and that's okay. There's always going to be things that cause you to be anxious or whatnot, but just push through it because it's worth it. Some days I didn't want to go to Pride, I was tired, but I never regret going to Pride once I'm there. The time spent there is just really great. And you make a lot of friends, and it's just getting involved is really important, and I think being in the Pride is one of the best ways to do that.
Before we perform our final selection, we would like to offer our thanks to some folks who made this performance possible. First, OU Athletics for allowing us to hold this live in-person event in the Lloyd Noble Center today. Brian Balmages, Carol Chambers, and Ben Holmes for their amazing musical arrangements and compositions. The OU Steel Band and their conductor, Mr. Jordan Shippey, for performing with us today. To our truly amazing graduate teaching assistants, Abby Brown, Jeff Harmon, Carlos Ibarra, Tim Pardue, and Hannah Rudy for their assistance in preparing the music for this concert and for their tremendous logistical support all semester long. We want to thank Kagan Lambert for her amazing choreography. And I believe we have a special guest with us in the audience today, our Director of Bands Emeritus, Dr. Bill Wakefield, and his wife, Valerie. If you could give us a wave. There they are, right up there in the middle. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate your support always. We wanted to also thank our wonderful campus band students for rallying around each other all year long throughout this challenging journey. So let's thank these students. And of course, a very heartfelt thank you to each of you sharing this concert experience with the students today. We really hope that we will see you at many more live performances very, very soon. So today's final selection, Pursuit of Joy, culminates with a statement of the Ode to Joy chorus from Beethoven's Symphony No. 9. In so many ways, the simple act of presenting a live performance for you today, after many months without that privilege, is a profoundly joyful occasion for all of us. Thank you again for being here today. We hope that you enjoy Carol Chambers' Pursuit of Joy. Well, thank you again for joining us today. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you again very soon. Take care. Bye, everybody.